Welcome back, YouTube. Continuing on where we left off. But first, time to check out the codex to see what there is. Roderick Forrester, Lord of Ironrath. Lord Forrester is lord of a strong northern house and a bannerman of House Stark. As a youth, he famously arm wrestled Galbert Glover for the privilege of becoming the man's squire. Glover later joked that he'd gladly lose the match all over again. Gregor married Elisa Branfield, a daughter of Southern Targaryen loyalists, before Robert Baratheon seized the Iron Throne. I'm very terrible at reading. Gregor ascended to the lordship of his father Gregor ascended to the lordship after his father died at the Trident, and led House Forrester during the 16 years since. Lady Elisa Forrester, Lord Forrester's wife. Okay. Elisa Forrester was born to House Branfield, a minor southern house that was destroyed when the Targaryen dynasty fell. She had been married to Gregor for many years when Robert's rebellion signaled her family's demise. Yet she nonetheless felt conflicted between her father's loyalties and her husband's. In time, Elisa came to feel that Ironrath was her true home, and she embraced her role as the Forrester matriarch. She has silently sworn that she'll never see her family destroyed again. That's a good thing. I sort of swore that myself in this. Roderick Forrester, firstborn son. Lord Forrester's eldest son, Roderick, was trained from an early age to shoulder the burdens of leadership. In truth, he was built for the role, strong, charismatic, and formidable on the battlefield. When Robb Stark called his banners to war, Lord Forrester asked Roderick to stay behind and protect Ironrath, but Roderick would have none of it. Instead, he rode off at his father's side and led the Forrester cavalry with such valor that his name came to be feared amongst the ranks of the Lannister soldiers. There's a lot. Asher Forrester, exiled second son. Asher had always been a rebellious youth, brawling in taverns, sleeping with whores, and finding ways to raise his father's ire. But his life took a dark turn when, at age 17, he fell in love with Gwyn Whitehill, the eldest daughter of his father's bitter rival. Bloodshed ensued, and Lord Forrester faced a grim choice: go to war or exile Asher across the narrow sea. He chose the latter. Asher remains in Essos to this day, living as a sellsword, trying not to think about the life he left behind. Sure, we're going to meet him later. Mira Forrester, eldest daughter. I think I've seen her in the trailers for this game. Lady Forrester, wanting her eldest daughter to learn the ways of the southern court, arranged for Mira to serve as a handmaiden to Marjorie Tyrell. Oh, shit. To Mira's great surprise, she enjoyed attending on Marjorie at Highgarden, and followed her to King's Landing with enthusiasm. Life in the capital has not been easy for Mira, as her straightforward northern ways are often at odds with the subtleties of court life. But she also has more guile. I don't know. I think it's guile, or it might be Gwill. I don't know. Then she realizes. Ethan Forrester, third-born son. Whereas his elder brothers were natural strong warriors, Ethan always found himself drawn to pursuits of the mind, particularly music and books. He also bore a great love for the towering trees of Ironrath, a love he still shares with his twin sister Talia. Ethan was just a boy when House Forrester joined the war to the Five Kings, but by the war's end he had been thrust into a role he was unprepared for, and On cool autumn evenings, Ethan can still be heard playing his lute in the Ironwood Grove. Talia Forrester, second-born daughter. During her fourth pregnancy, Lady Forrester dreamed she would birth a daughter with a voice like the summer rain. But as fate would have it, she gave birth to a boy. The infant, Ethan, wailed for hours, until Lady Forrester entered a second labor, this time birthing a girl. She named the girl Talia, after her own mother, and from then on, Ethan hardly ever cried. Her dream came true, for there's no sound at Ironrath more lovely than that of Talia's singing as her brother plays the lute. Ryan Forrester, fourth-born son. The last of the Forrester children, Ryan grew up idolizing his elder siblings and spent many an hour chasing Ethan and Talia through the grove. His youth has been pleasant and shielded from responsibility, but recently Ryan's innocence has begun to fade. When the war began, Ryan was too young to understand why Roderick and his father were leaving home, but the grim realities of a house at war has been impossible to avoid. Ryan now asks questions for which his siblings have no easy answers. Oh, then I get to read all myself. Cool. Garrett Tuttle. Garrett was raised on the stories of heroism about the likes of Arthur Dane and Simeon Stareyes. Though the son of a pig farmer, he has always aspired to one day become a warrior himself. With the help of his uncle Duncan, who had risen from low-born origins to become Castellan of Ironrath, Garrett found work in Lord Forrester's stables, rising through the ranks to eventually be named his squire. Garrett has served Lord Forrester throughout the long months in King Rob's army, and is ready to be a warrior in his own right, which I'm pretty sure I already am in a way, maybe not officially. Oh. Duncan Tuttle, Castellan of Ironrath. As a boy, Duncan showed such talent for managing his family's farm that everyone assumed he'd one day take over. But Duncan was fated. But Duncan was fated to run more than fields in a pig pen. In time, he struck up an unlikely friendship with Roderick Forrester, the heir to the House Forrester. The two grew close, and when Gregor became lord, he named Duncan his Castellan. Many eyebrows were raised, but Duncan proved himself worthy, and has served the house well in the long years since. Sir Royland Degor. Royland Degor joined Lord Forrester's army after his family was wiped out by Ironborn during Balin Greyjoy's rebellion. Degor had a natural grasp of military tactics and strategy, and came to play a crucial role in the siege of Pike that ended the war in the months that followed. King Robert awarded Royland a knighthood, and Lord Forrester asked him to serve as Ironrath's Master at Arms. Sir Royland still holds the position and is known for his military expertise as well as his legendary temper. And I'm gonna have to pause it there. That's been about 10 minutes of reading. But if you liked it, that's awesome. If you didn't want to watch it, then you could always skip maybe to the next one, where I probably still going to continue. But if you liked the video, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more of it, subscribe. Bye bye.